Dear Derry, welcome to Motivational Monday. For those of you who have not seen Motivational Monday, it's the Monday where I try to come up with something motivational to talk about. And this week it's been particularly easy, even though what I'm going to tell you I discovered last week. But still, it's damn good advice. It comes from Sir Patrick Stewart. Actually, it comes from Sir Patrick Stewart's principal from his drama school when he was going to drama school. And his principal, I'm going to stop cleaning the desk while you're talking. I am going to put a link to the video, and the video link that I will have in the description below goes directly to basically the last question in the interview with Sirs Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen. And it's the point where the interviewer asks this particular question of both actors. However, that said, I would my strongest recommendation: watch the whole thing. This is the link below is just to the question, so that you can see the question that I'm talking about and the advice that I'm talking about. But I really encourage you to move somewhere where there aren't airports. I really encourage you to watch the whole thing, because there's a lot of just amazing stuff to see in the interview. Anyway, the thing that his principal told him way back when was, you will never achieve success so long as you insure against failure. And at first, if you watch the video, you'll see that he wasn't going to explain it. He was ready to just take off. He said, it took me forever to figure out what it meant. And a lady in the front row, which I believe, if I'm correct, was the lady who a few minutes before had given him a throat lozenge, because you can tell his voice is torn up. Birds. It was the lady who originally played Maria in West Side Story. Amazing. Anyway, so she asked him, well, what did he mean? And he's like, oh, maybe I should tell people. And so what he says is, until you are willing to risk everything, exposing, what's deeply personal inside, until you are willing to take risks and risk failure, you will never succeed. You'll be playing it far too safe. This kind of goes with what I was talking about last week or the week before, where, hesitation becomes toxic. It becomes your own undoing. And you got to be really, really careful. And that's what he's talking about. In that case, it's not just hesitation, a complete inaction. What he's talking about there is action, but action that's just a little bit too easygoing. There are times where you need to extend way past your comfort zone to be able to. If you're going to reach for the stars, you got to risk the burn in your hand. That makes no sense. Well, it makes some sense, but you know what I mean. You will never achieve success if you insure against failure. Don't play it so safe that you never reach for anything. I think that's a better way of putting it. And honestly, that's really all there is to it. Motivational Mondays are pretty short usually. And the reason that they are is that really good advice doesn't really take that long to express. So I would encourage you, all of you watching this, to take this piece of advice to anyone that you know. And it doesn't just apply to acting or anything. It applies to everything. It applies to life in the whole of it. It applies to love. It applies to your job. It applies no matter what your job happens to be. You've got to be willing to, take that leap of faith, that step that you're not sure if your foot's going to land, but if you don't take it, you're never going to find out. So tell the people in your life that are important to you, tell them this. tell them that piece of advice, and show them this video. Spread it around. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff in this video. So, and it's also kind of what I mean with my usual sign off. Whenever I say be careless, I don't mean, go out and play in the traffic. I mean, be carefree, have no worries. Just you can be reckless. Just don't be, juggling acid-covered flaming chainsaws. It's a little dangerous. I mean, if you're capable of doing it, yeah, go ahead, whatever. But, be a professional or something. Until next time, be careless.